Well, hey, everybody. Good morning. Welcome back to the Ravens Outpost and Morning Coffee with Lee. I'm Lee. How's everybody doing? Good morning, Max. You were early, son. Good morning, Judy. How are you doing this morning? I've got a separate setup here. I'm trying something different. There we go. Got another monitor set up to monitor this and chat. Good. Glad to hear it. Let's see. Got my morning cup. Hope everybody's doing good. Mr. Lee, how are you doing, buddy? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So far, so good. Actually had a decent night's sleep. That's odd for me. I toss and turn. I wake up every so often. I might get 4 hours of solid sleep. That's about it. Well, good morning, Sandra. How are you doing? Jen, good morning. Good morning. I like everybody pours in. It's great. I was telling my wife how I had a couple of people sitting out in their tree stands and duck blinds watching the show, and she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, well, hey, what can I say?" Oh me, I've got to figure something else out with this. You can't. I'm not going to spend the rest of my damn show with my head down. See if I can bring this up on another. Um, Bear with me, folks. Just a minute. Let's see. Let me do this. There we go. It's a little bit better. I'll do this. Oh, no. No, that's not what I wanted at all. There we go. It's a little bit better. This other separate screen I had, it's just not working out. Well, good morning, Miss Ida Bustamante, the lady whose name I just love to say. It's just so fun to say, Bustamante. Good morning. If you hear some beating and banging in the background, don't mind it. It's all right. It's just my wife running around. Here's a cup to you. Decent coffee. I need to learn how to move the camera. Trying to work out a different angle, man. Maybe. I'll do this. I'll get rid of this one right here. There we go. Turn it off. There Now, let's bring you over here. Not bad. I think I can deal with that. So, what's everybody into this morning? Maggie, good morning. Good morning. It'll take a minute to get revved up here. Um, I'm going to switch things around. I'm going to do that after the show's over with. I'm going to play around with a few things and change my setup a little bit. I need a better camera angle than what I've got right now. And I need to be able to look right at you because I'm wanting to talk to you, right? And be able to watch chat and everything. I've got two screens set up. Basically, two monitors for chat and just seeing how the video is playing out. Yep. Yep. I'm going to try that, Max. Definitely. Definitely going to try that. So a couple of weeks ago, we're started talking about the cattle mutilations and all that other stuff, and it marked a year since I put out the that mini documentary that I made about that family that had been plagued by all this stuff happening on their property. Good morning, Craig. I'm gonna fix me some sausage, and that sounds like a good idea to me. Sausage and eggs sounds great. Love it, dude. Three more, and you're at 1,000. That's awesome. Yeah, everybody jump over to Max's channel and subscribe if you haven't. He's got some great content. The man's a wealth of knowledge. Eric, what's up, my man? Nikki, good morning. How are you? Good morning, Maggie. You have a help him put and get him over over 1,000. Shoot, yeah. Well, you haven't put anything up in over 4 months. Well, you need to take a little hiatus every now and then. How's your internet connection, my man? It's okay. We need to get together and do another show. The one with you and me is one of my highest view shows. And we talked about all kinds of random stuff. I loved it. Boring psycho. No, you're not, dude. Not even. People love you. Are you kidding me? When you're on the show, like I said, it's one of my highest viewed shows. So, Rick, how you doing this morning, brother? Max Powers, Bigfoot Hunter. He gets out in the field. He's boots on the ground. Very knowledgeable man. He's a wealth of information, I'm telling you. Tom Cruise, as he subbed to my channel too. Ray, oh my God. How are you doing? Did you get all your research in? Bless your heart. And I mean that. Mean as hell. As always, wouldn't have it any other way. That sip's for you. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, do apologize about that. My wife's leaving out. She's going to be gone about all day, running errands and whatnot. She's meeting up with a bunch of friends. Hey, everybody. If you haven't subbed to Max Powers' channel, let's get him to 1,000. Can we do it? You put up videos that's when you lose subs. Tom Cruise, hello. How you doing, man? Good morning. Or good afternoon, depending on where you're at. See, you're feeling the, can you feel the love, Max? Can you feel it? Look. Seriously. You see? You see? There you go. That's my goal. Try and hit 1,000. That'd be nice. Michael Haywood. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Whatever you want, man. What do you do now? Max, you do whatever you want. Good morning. Yay. Nice. That's awesome, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And got him over 1,000 subs. I'm sure he's got the viewing hours. I'm positive of that. So, dude, you can get monetized now if you want to get in on the partner program. That's what I'd like to do. Look, I'm not it's I mean, if YouTube would pay me to do this, I'd do it full time. If I had the subscriber count and they were willing to pay me to do what I do, I would do this full time. And I promise you, you would be getting a hell of a lot more in the way of content. But I'm trying to do what I got now. Parkway, would you be willing to come on the show? Everybody grab their cup of Joe. Yeah, I would love to talk to him. I would love to talk to you, Parkway. That's okay. Thanks, Mr. Lee. I appreciate that. I do. That's right. Get that second cup. I only do one. I've got this thing with caffeine, hard hitting caffeine like coffee, because I love coffee. And if I don't watch myself, I'll drink a whole pot by myself. And next thing you know, I'm bouncing off the walls. It's crazy. So I've got to really pace myself. And I'm talking a 12 cup pot. I can drink the whole thing. The whole thing. Just might as well take the whole damn pot, just guzzle it. Green tea. Now I like green tea too. I do. It's good for you. I like chamomile. Have that at night. Sit back and read a little bit. Mm-mm. It works. It really does. Get into our self help portion of the show early. Coffee doesn't affect me like that. I have a cup before bed and sleep well. You know what? It's funny. If I have maybe 2 cups of coffee, even 2 cups back to back, it's almost like it puts me to sleep. But if I have a third cup, that's when it really hits me. Yeah, Sandra, my mom and dad were like that. Uh, back when back when I was in high school, um, my mom and dad dated. It was it was great. They would go out and do their own thing, leave us kids at home. We were good. Um, they would go out and get coffee and chit chat with friends. It was great. The color changing oil, I'm into everything, man. Parkway, you're saying Max and I had some happenings worth sharing if color changing orbs or something. Absolutely. Absolutely. Buck! Buck, my man, how in the hell are you? It's been a hot minute, brother. Buck naked. A good percolator. I'd love to get me one. It's been the hottest of minutes. Yes, sir. It has been. It has been. So, yes, what you got, man? Hey, Max. And I don't have Parkway's number or anything like that. Why don't you, if you two are willing to come on and talk about what you had going on with everybody, let me know. You've got an open invitation, man. Anytime. Anytime you guys want to come on. Anytime. And we'll sit around and talk. I'm I'm looking to learn some stuff, man. So Buck, what you got going on, man? Yep. Should be fun. Now, another thing, would you rather have a show in the evening or in the morning like this? I know it's kind of inconvenient for a lot of people to do a morning show because most people do, work during the day. I'm because I work at night. Max, Ray, you knew how he was going to take that. Oh yeah, the Reservation Rangers. Um, Wednesdays and Saturdays, I'm free for the most part. Um, I if we do an evening show, we can do it in the early evening, like right around 7 or 8, maybe. Yeah, Buck, I agree with you. I'm not a fan of the new one either. They have some decent stories. But on the Navajo reservation, I mean, the Navajo Nation there, it covers a wide area in the Four Corners, and there's a lot that goes on there. A lot of wild, weird stuff. Steelhead bait. I see. Oh, we're doing a whole family get together at my mom's old place, which is my brother's now, more or less. Um, we're we're still trying to get everything together. It's pitiful. It's pitiful. Um, absolutely, Buck. It's yeah, yeah. Talk about giant woodpeckers, man. I got them down here. It was funny that I've been talking about that for a while. I did a couple of videos on that, and how I thought the Sasquatch were mimicking that in their wood knocks, and because it's such a high population area uh, during the summertime, um, mid to late summer, there are hikers and joggers all along the trails where I used to do my quote unquote research and investigations, and I heard your typical wood knocks. You know, it was early in the morning, but in the evening, you would hear a woodpecker, and this woodpecker was it was super loud, super loud. It's like, what the hell is this? And I just come to my own conclusions about them masking their wood knocks and communications by making it sound like a woodpecker. I don't know. Good morning, Jay. Good morning. I saw you on Pine Island Research last night. I heard your story. My hat's off to you, my friend. My hat's off to you. How you doing this morning, Jay? That was a hell of an encounter, let me tell you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Brandy, good morning. Hey, nice. We've got to get together and talk. Buck, we got to get together and talk. Hey, here's the thing. If anybody wants to come on the show and talk, share their experiences or, share some information, um, different ideas. I'm open to, listening to different ideas. Um, I mean, I've got my own theories, but they're open ended. They can be adjusted and modified and whatever. They're not set in stone. I don't do that. But if anybody wants to come on the show, message me through Facebook and, we'll set something up. I'll try and work around your schedule. It's lyric David Lee. It's something like that. We talk about everything. I don't have a really set thing that we talk about anymore. Um, I, I was I was getting ready to talk about the fact that it's a little over a year that I put out the mini documentary on the cattle or the animal mutilations, and I got to looking into it, and I think it's protocol for government officials to tell people a rash of bullshit. I mean, spoon feed them the nastiest bullshit they can tell them, you know, which means make them feel like they're stupid and seeing stuff. Absolutely, man. Bucky it says again, those are avian species and much smaller, but does lend credence that there are things that remain hidden in this world. You think about this, and somebody brought this up. I can't remember who brought this up, but if you're out in the wilderness, you're hunting, and you hear so many hunters say, "Well, I'm out in the woods all the time. I'm hunting. I ain't never seen no Bigfoot. They don't exist." I said, "Well, you're out there hunting for a deer that you know exists, and it's eluding you. You're hunting it, and we know exactly, you know, the range of intelligence for a deer, right? And they're able to avoid you. What if something higher intelligence is out there and it is intent on avoiding you? You better believe it. It just makes sense to think of it this way, that they are in tune, much more in tune with the environment than you are. 9 times out of 10. And 9 times out of 10, that's just my guess, my reckoning, that they will avoid you if at all possible. If they want to remain silent, if they want to remain invisible, they will. Pyro, good morning, sir. How are you doing? Too many people walking around thinking they're the main character, but really they ain't even the potion masters NPC level. That's right. That's right. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay. If they want to remain hidden, they will. I mean, it just that logic gets on my nerves where people, who supposedly stay out in the woods think they've seen everything. Hmm. Get back on here. Three-toed, 14-inch track. Now I've been hearing about the three-toed tracks. There were there are three, four, and five-toed tracks. The three-toed tracks were just odd, and they were like a footprint with three toes. And they were just odd. I mean, I don't know what to make of that. And they from what I was reading the reports of the three-toed track kind of fell off for a little while, and the more popular five-toed prints and whatnot, maybe occasional four-toed, but three-toed was really rare. But now, according to some reports, the three-toed track is coming back. What does that even mean? Does that mean that my personal opinion that the three-toed track was ignored because it was too odd and too out of the way to woo for a lot of people? That would be awesome to do. Let's see. We do need data, Ray. We need a lot of data. So that's what I'm saying, Ray. Coming back or just being spoken about. That's my humble opinion is that the three-toed track was being overlooked, pushed aside. It's already been documented and talked about by whistleblowers, former members of the BFRO, that the hierarchy of that organization tends to toss out anything that has too much woo to it. Their their hardline stance into proving that the forest folk are a species of North American great ape is just ignorance, in my opinion, and it's just blind to facts. Like the 17-year-old locust ray. Yeah, yeah, I'd say. Yeah. Mogs, good morning, sir. How you doing? Got a lot of people here tonight or today. Ooh, that was oops. That's a habit. How'd your fishing trip go, Mogs? Um, all over really. There's a lot more in the traditional thought of area, the Pacific Northwest, that's coming to light. Um, I had a good day yesterday. Yeah, I had a good day. I didn't catch any fish. I didn't go fishing. Wish I had it though. A couple weeks ago, went to the range. Went to the gun range with some buddies, and I guarantee you, we shot up about 1,000 rounds of ammunition. A good time was had by all. Just blowing stuff up. It was great. Thanks, Pyro. I appreciate that. Yeah, send it on to me. I'll spread the wealth, man. Forget the rod and grab the rifle. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you gotta do that. Rod and a rifle. I don't know. I like a little mix it up. You know, let's see. dark real quick. So here's an article I wanted to read real quick. Let's see. It's a Fox News article, but it was also published in the or the New York Post, if that means anything. And going on the lines of cattle mutilations, cults or UFOs. This is from August of this year, August 11th. So, New York Post comments, it said Fox News has obtained some shocking exclusive video of cattle mutilation scenes from San Luis Valley in southern Colorado. It's the greatest unsolved crime spree in history, says Arthur Chris O'Brien, who recorded the video. He wrote about his findings in his book, Stalking the Herd, Unraveling the Cattle Mutilation Mystery. The videos depict the grisly nature of more than a dozen cattle mutilations. Mutilations differ from typical livestock deaths because the carcasses are found with body parts removed in an unusual fashion. The never seen before footage is featured in the latest episode of Tucker Carlson Originals, which is available on Fox News Nation now. The St. Louis cases are just a handful of more than 10,000 mutilations that have stumped ranchers and investigators across the United States for decades. Just this month, ranchers in Delta Junction, Alaska, reportedly found the remains of a cow that was missing its udder, eyes, and reproductive organs. In 2019, cowboys in Silvis Valley Ranch in eastern Oregon found 5 bulls mutilated in a remote stretch of forest. There's no forensic evidence of any kind left at the scene, according to Colby Marshall, vice president of the ranch at the time of the mutilations. Marshall says the bulls were missing their blood and reproductive organs and were not and they were when they were found. Each one of the bulls would have produced 20 calves a year for probably the next 5 or 6 years. Their overall production value was in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. The ranch offered a $25,000 reward for information that would lead to an arrest. They got no credible leads. I would have never thought this would be possible, that you could basically kill 5 bulls without any evidence. At least in that way, right? At least eight other cattle were reported mutilated in Oregon since the Silvis Valley Ranch cases. No culprit has been identified. The ones I've been involved in, we haven't solved any of them, says Sergeant Tom Rourke of the Lake County, Oregon Sheriff's Department. There was no evidence, no clues of a suspect. Ranchers have reported mutilations for centuries, but the cases peak in the United States in the 1970s. Investigators kind of agree there was upwards of 1,000 cases in Colorado alone, O'Brien said. As the episode explores, in 1975, the Denver Post reported that the U.S. Bureau of Land Management concealed aerial land surveys in the area because officials are simply afraid their helicopters might be shot down by ranchers and others frightened by cattle deaths. The 3 separate occasions citing United States senators or sitting United States senators, including Harrison Schmitt, an astronaut who walked on the moon, called on the FBI to investigate the mutilations. So, $1 million question, what is it? And you look into the FBI records. This is back in 1975. Let's see. It was given to veterinarians to assess to do the I can't remember what you call an animal autopsy. Um, you might want to help me out here, guys. Um, but it says looking for information. This is January 21st, 1975. Mutilations of animals, Minnesota, North and South Dakota research matter for the information of the Bureau of the Bureau. Animals, mostly livestock, have been reported as mutilated in 3 state areas of the division and parts of their bodies missing. The parts listed as missing have been the sexual organs, ears, lips, udders, and in some instances, the blood from the animal was considered completely drained. Necropsy. There you go, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I knew it started with an N, but it just wouldn't rolling. They performed the necropsy on these critters. State veterinarians, after examination of mutilated animal carcasses, contend dead animals were eaten by other animals or varmints, believed to be foxes due to their sharp side teeth, which were described as shearing teeth like scissors. The Bureau is requested to furnish the Minneapolis division with any supporting information to the above comments made by the state veterinarians, or if already contacted by other law enforcement agencies, that the results of their investigations to your laboratory results of evidence previously submitted are in similar cases. This pissed off a lot of people. They published these findings as natural death, and the people who come across these who owned these animals, the animals that were destroyed in such a manner, were pissed. They were like, what the hell are you talking about? There's no damn way. First of all, and it's reported in the FBI file that there was no blood whatsoever. Anybody with any common sense knows, okay, so maybe they did cut it open with their teeth, right? There would still be blood. Even after the animal is deceased, you have to find ways. They have to kill it. They brought it down somehow. The likelihood of animals just dropping like that is pretty slim. But hey, it's my understanding that bovine have pneumonia in their lungs. Something happens, they get flustered and aspirate. They can depart pretty quick after that. I mean, they carry it around with them, right? Okay. I get that. But we're talking, they have to be put down. How did they get put down? I mean, there are no other puncture wounds. I've seen pictures of how they were taken out, how they were eviscerated. I investigated one personally. I've seen it personally. About 100 yards away from the pen. Okay, one, no drag marks. This pony weighed probably about 350, 400 pounds, right? It was a mini horse. Okay, it wasn't that big, but still about 350, 400 pounds tops. It was on the heavier side of a mini horse, right? Okay, no drag marks. It was picked up and put there where it was found, right? 2, there were no footprints whatsoever. 3, there was no blood, period. The only blood that was found, it was on a horse blanket that it was wearing. And it was jerked off that horse. It wasn't unbuckled. It was pulled off that horse and slung. probably about 10, 15 feet from where the horse had laid. Then it was cut open. Its organs were harvested. No blood. You're going to have blood. I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Um, hmm, just a second. I'm trying to find this one letter. The FBI, they investigated this to a certain extent, but they didn't get fully involved. Um, because of what they say their statutes, that they couldn't get involved because it wasn't a federal offense. Right. Um, let's see. Okay, that first letter I read you was in January 1975. This is August 1975. Um, Theodore P. Rosak, Special Agent in Charge, Denver Federal Building, to Mr. Rosak. Let's see. For several months, my office has been receiving reports of cattle mutilations throughout Colorado and other western states. At least 130 cases in Colorado alone have been reported to local officials and the Colorado Bureau of Investigations. The CBI has verified that the incidents have occurred for the last 2 years in 9 states. The ranchers and rural residents of Colorado are concerned and frightened by these incidences. The bizarre mutilations are frightening in themselves. In virtually all the cases, the left ear, left eye, rectum, and sex organs of each animal has been cut away and the blood drained from the carcass, but with no traces of blood left on the ground and no footprints. This is official document, public record, unredacted. In Colorado's Morgan County area, there has also been reports that a helicopter was used by those who mutilated the carcasses of the cattle, and several persons have reported being chased by a similar helicopter. Because I am gravely concerned by the situation, I'm asking that the Federal Bureau of Investigations enter the case. Although the CBI has been investigating the incidences, the local officials also have been involved. The lack of central unified direction has frustrated the investigation. It seems to have progressed little, except for the at long recognition at long last that the incidents must be taken seriously. Now it appears that ranchers are arming themselves to protect their livestock as well as their families and themselves because they are frustrated by the unsuccessful investigation. Clearly, something must be done before someone gets hurt. So, this is August 1975. In response to all this crap, there's a lot of stuff that went on in between there, but I wanted to just point all this out. Later, Craig. Have a good one, sir. So yeah, this has been heavy on my mind for a while, and I think they cover it up for whatever reason. There's a lot of inconclusive mess here. Um, and in that article I read to you, it that was August of this year. So so in this one statement here, declassified, and this is in that for the first article I read you from the New York Post. Declassified FBI documents show that when one investigation, the bureau referred the case to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, which blamed small mammals such as foxes and possums, but didn't explain how predators or scavengers were able to make precise incisions. In other instances, they claimed they did not have jurisdiction in the matter. Other investigators drew different conclusions. A New Mexico state trooper named Gabe Valdez, who conducted multiple investigations, including that the mutilations are the work of the U.S. government. Could be. We talked yesterday about the UFO disclosure, the the who was, I think it was the Israeli Minister of Defense, former Israeli Minister of Defense, coming forward and saying that the U.S. government knew about all this and had a contract with these alien species. I mean, extraterrestrials, to do experiments on the planet. Now, I'm just putting two and two together. I'm just saying. Yeah, that swamp gas ray. That's right. That's right. That's what they used to say. That's right. All right, Buck. They cover up what they can't control so they can control the narrative instead. Exactly. Good morning, Claude. Good morning. Yeah, it pisses me off too, Ray. Eisenhower's right. I mean, he warned us. He warned us about the military industrial complex. Buck, you're right. And the disclosure is starting to feel like a sci-fi novel. There is a lot of. I talked yesterday about Blue Elizondo, and him being a plant for the CIA. He's still involved with them. He never got disevolved. He never got let go from them. He was always a part of the problem. A lot of it, he's spreading a lot of misinformation. Relabeling things, trying to get the public out of it. Investigators, MUFON and all that, trying to push all this aside. I mean, there's a wealth of knowledge out there in the public, and they know it, and they do not want this being mainstreamed. Since they've come forth, there's a lot of people that are a little bit more willing to look into the alien agenda than they were before. Most people are just like, well, no, it ain't nothing. But yeah, Hollywood soft disclosure, exactly, and it's been made to, I believe there's truth into what they put out there. This is what's real, but it's not that type of thing. The wink and the nod. Um, and you're right, Buck. You don't just leave the CIA. Once a spook, always a spook. I believe they're trying to get out in front of it. I really do. I'm trying, because, well, the internet. Everyone has a camera. Not everybody uses it. I mean, if you have something just sitting there in front of you, and if you have the wherewithal to be able to overcome the shock of what you're seeing, and you whip out your phone and start filming, then it goes viral. They don't they don't want that. They don't want us. They want us dumb. They want us misinformed. They just want us ignorant. I mean, how better to control the population if you keep us ignorant? Knowledge is power, and they don't want us having that knowledge. I'm just saying. Just saying. That's right. I know. I know, right, Buck? I hope it's ET too, not Starship Troopers. That would suck. Yeah, there's a lot of redacted stuff out there, Judy. But if you dig around enough, you're able to find nuggets of truth. There's, sometimes that light's hard to hide, and you've got to look for it through all that cloudy, murky darkness. Every now and then it pops open, and what I just read you, the FBI records is from the FBI records vault, um, vault.fbi.gov is the website, and you'll be able to access all kinds of stuff, even on Bigfoot. Yeah. I've got some of that stuff down too. Um, I've downloaded the PDFs, and so I can access it at my heart's content, which I'm plan on making hard copies of it, put in a file and lock it away for future reference. That's right, Buck. Yep. It's been a good morning. I haven't been on a rant like this in a while. I hope I didn't throw anybody off. Let's see. Go back to chat here. I'm seeing what you're saying, Pyro, about your buddy lost 10 head a month ago due to pneumonia. Yeah, they carry that stuff around in their lungs. I mean, they just carry it around. And something happens, and if it gets kicked off and if it gets activated, they can die within hours. Thanks, Judy. Yeah, I kind of thought so too. I thought y'all felt that way too. Um, I type with my thumbs too, Max. So tell you what, buddy. Send me a notification if you and Parkway can come on the show, and we'll figure out a time we can do it where it's convenient for everybody. I'm not interfering with your day or anything like that, and we'll share some knowledge, man. It'd be great, and I think it'd be a good time. Max was in chat first thing this morning. I mean, I think I saw him pop on probably about 10:45. Dashingly handsome. Yeah. Hey, Buck, also, I like to have you on to discuss some scientific stuff. Because I've been looking into, everybody knows who've paid attention to the channel here recently that I've got a big fascination for ancient civilizations and a search for our human origin. I do honestly believe what what Graham Hancock says about us being a species with amnesia. There's so much to us that we have either forgotten or have been forced to not look into. We've been no, dude. Fuck no. You've got a great grasp of what we're looking at here. You know, bring up a subject and we'll talk about it. I'm thinking about bringing back parkour. That's cool. I do. I want to hear everything you guys have to say, and uh, and I am not. I listen to all of it. I don't care if it's woo. I think that's that's a bullshit term. You're right, Mokes. One day too, we'll be an ancient civilization. But I think there's a reason why they wrote everything down in stone. And the stone they wrote it in on, like the emerald tablets, for instance. The emerald tablets of Thoth. There's a reason why the Sumerians did that. I'm sure they had parchment. I'm sure they had paper. I Hell, who's to know they didn't have some type of hard drive like we have? But once that's gone, 100, 200, 1,000 years from now, where is that information going to be? It degrades, it deteriorates. After a while, everything breaks down. Stone lasts a long freaking time. Yeah, I was interested. The Georgia Guidestones is something I always wanted to see and investigate on my own. But there's that. Oh, yes, sir, Buck. Buck, I would love to see it. I would love to see it. That's right, Ray. I mean, there's a lot to be said about oral tradition and the stories that are passed down and the way they were passed down. They were passed down literally. You know, there was a record keeper. There was one person who kept that knowledge and then passed it down to another record keeper and passed that knowledge. And it's this, to keep it alive. And it gets swallowed up into the realm of what they label as mythology. You know, there's so many myths out there that are based on actual events. I mean, come on. The Great Flood, Noah's flood, Gilgamesh's flood, however you want to look at it. Whoa. Wow. Okay. We need to get together. Max, since you're up, dude, I got an open invitation to come and join me with a cup of coffee and sit down and gab for about an hour. You too, Buck. Let me know if you have time to come on in the morning. This is Monday through Thursday show, except for this week. Thought maybe today was going to be my last day. I might be able to do one tomorrow. I'm not sure. That's not written in stone. But uh, Monday through Thursday looks like it's when morning coffee with Lee is going to be a thing. And I'm going to maybe try and bring back the evening shows. I'm not sure. Um, I might have a late night pop in. I might pop in a late night from time to time, just to say howdy and say what, you know. So I'm here, my kitty. No, you can't come up here, baby. Not yet. But it's we're 15 minutes after, so I've got to get off here and get going, get my act together and act like I'm being a productive adult. So I want to thank everybody for stopping by. I love the conversation. It's been absolutely fantastic. Oh, got real dark real quick, didn't it? It's been absolutely fantastic, and thanks everybody. It's been let's see. Hold on just a second. Yep. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. At 11 o'clock. In the AM for another cup and some conversation, and we'll talk about what's going on. See y'all tomorrow. Thank you again. I love everybody. And Max, get back in touch with me. Holler at me if you guys feel like coming on here. You got, like I said, you've got an open invitation anytime. Parkway, come on, buddy. I'd love to have a conversation with you, man. So, yeah, Parkway, that's some good advice. Let's stay grounded. Let's have a great day. And until tomorrow, I love you, mean it. Bye.